Good morning and welcome to Tea Time with Tanya. I'm Tanya. How you doing today? Today is Monday, November 28th, 2022. There are 2 days left in November. Guys, this year is in hyperdrive. Let's start today off with a blessing, shall we? Dear universe, dear creator, dear spirit guides, please give us, the collective, a blessing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Listen to this. We get a blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for good reason, and all involved will benefit. Guys, we are going to go through some emotional stuff. So open up your hearts and minds and release and receive this blessing. Release all of your anxiety and trouble. A blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storm subsides, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for good reason, and all involved will benefit. Namaste. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. All right, I have some fantastic questions for today. We're going to start off, though, guys. We've been talking about earthquakes. We've been talking about volcanoes. Mauna Loa, the biggest, oldest volcano on this planet we call Earth, is erupting today in Hawaii. The largest shield volcano on the planet above ground is erupting. They have not, I don't know if they've given any evacuation orders yet. There's no lava flow. Well, there wasn't about an hour ago. But the eruption is ongoing, imminent, all of those big, scary words. So if you have people in Hawaii, guys, send them energy, send them anything you can send them. And let's hope that the people who are in the lava flow zone evacuate and heed the warnings. But Hawaii usually does really good about getting out of the way of a lava flow. All right. So just so that everybody knows that is going on. And guys, we are at the tip of this bad weather for this week. So you could say that Mauna Loa erupting is the starting gun for this week's weather. Be prepared. And that's all that I can say. Be prepared. We are in store for some fantastical weather. The Midwest, guys, Texas to the East Coast, prepare for adverse weather, be it wind, rain, or snow. Prepare. And California, Utah, Oregon, even here in Nevada where I am, Washington, and British Columbia, be aware of earthquakes, okay? When we've got volcanoes going off, there is movement under the ground. When there is lava and magma coming up forcefully from the depths of the earth, things happen, things shift, things move. Be prepared, guys, for any type of weather. Just be prepared. And guys, if you are traveling, again, if you are in any place that has snow, please stop by some auto parts store, pick you up some chains for your tire. If you don't have chains, at least try to get rescue boards to get you out of the snow. Snow is going to be deep and it's going to be sticky. So that means it's going to be slippery in a lot of places. It's going to be very hard for people to get traction. And if you slide off the road, you may not be able to get it back on. So have the things that your car needs to have as safe of a travel as possible. Again, drive the speed limit, guys. In adverse weather, drive below the speed limit. Use your headlights, use your turn signals, but most of all, use your common sense. Okay, guys, I love you. Next. We can get on into this reading now. We're going to talk about Elon because it's oligarch central. So, I had a question, is Twitter going to survive Elon? But I'm having a feeling that the acquisition of Twitter was never about him running that company. He wanted to possess it. He never wanted to really be responsible for it. He wanted to possess it. So let's just ask Tara. Will, and I know everybody's saying, yes, he's going to run it to the ground, but let's get a concrete answer on this. Will Elon destroy Twitter? Will Elon purposefully, he's already, actually he hasn't, because more people have gotten back on the platform since he has started wrecking it than were on it before. Don't feed the beast, guys. Will Elon destroy Twitter? Will Elon eventually destroy Twitter? And that's just how I'm going to ask it. I'm going to be done with that until it goes up into flames. Oh, it's a money pit. Oh, and he's in his tower moment, guys. Okay, hold on. I want to read this because some people deserve all the bad stuff that comes to them. Yes, the final outcome is he is definitely going to run this into the ground. But guys, this is going to suck him dry. He has gotten himself into a money pit. The people who make money for the platform, i.e. the ones who run advertisements on the platform, are bailing. Now I didn't even read the whole thing, that he was calling physically himself, not a secretary, Elon Musk on the phone, trying to call all these corporations to beg them to put their advertising back on Twitter. Gosh, I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. I really hope they don't. Guys, we have to discuss these oligarchs, okay? And we have to call oligarchs what they are. Elon is an oligarch. Guess who else is an oligarch, guys? Kanye West. Oh, Mr. Ye, Mr. Yeezy. He's trying to be so much like Puff Daddy that he don't even know what his name is anymore. But he is an oligarch, guys, and they're doing oligarch things. And they're trying to get us regular poor folk down here to feel sorry for the poor rich guys. That's what they want us to do. They want us to feel sorry for the people who are trying to destroy the country that we live in. So, but let me get back on Elon's throat. Twitter's a money pit for Elon. He has dumped so much of his personal funds into it, and he is never going to recoup them. Not to mention the fact that he is going to be embroiled in lawsuits for unfair hiring and firing practices. Because remember what he did. He fired people via email, then realized, oops, I need some of these people to actually run the platform. But he'd already locked so many people out. Now the people who run Twitter are leaving nice little notes as they go out the door. The platform has not collapsed yet, guys. The operative word is yet. Because without all those critical infrastructure, when a glitch does happen, and we all know it will happen, there's not going to be anybody there to fix it. And believe that some of those people who left the company disgruntled, left some landmines and booby traps of their own in programs that they were responsible for upkeep and maintenance of. Elon shot himself in the face with what he did to Twitter. He is going to be completely successful in destroying, dismantling, making naught out of Twitter. Okay? And I kind of feel like this was his ultimate goal. If not, he's going to say it is. Okay? So let's get off of that. Twitter is not going to survive Elon. And Elon is going to be poorer for it. So that's two birds that we can call wins for us. Okay, my next question is from Beautiful Girl. And this is about Elizabeth Holmes. She is the former CEO of Theranos. She got sentenced to some prison time for 11 years prison because her company was a scam. Lied about, it was a blood company. Lied and said that they only needed like a drop of blood to do all these tests. And it was straight up lies. People went to jail. People's lives were affected. So now Elizabeth Holmes is pregnant. She's supposed to report to prison in, I believe, April. You see how these rich folks get it. Now they get accused of a crime, get found guilty of a crime. But they don't have to go directly to jail. They've given her like 8 months before she has to turn herself in. So Beautiful Girl's question is, did Elizabeth Holmes get pregnant on purpose? Is that to keep her out of jail longer? So did Elizabeth Holmes, the CEO of Theranos, did she get pregnant on purpose to try to weasel her way out of her prison sentence? And guys, I'm going to say this. This only happens to rich people. Because poor people who are pregnant when they get arrested, guess where they give birth? Right there in prison. Well, they go to the hospital. But they are in prison. And when they, up until they go into labor, they go to the hospital, have the baby, and then their butt goes right back to prison. Okay? Now, this Elizabeth person is not going to have to suffer through that. She's going to get to have her pregnancy at home. She'll have her baby, and then she'll have to report to prison. But let's just go on and get on this. Did she get pregnant on purpose? Did she milk the system, knowing that they wouldn't put a rich woman in jail to give birth? Here we go. And we get the Six of Cups, the childhood home. Oh, she is stressing about her prison term, y'all. Did she get pregnant on purpose? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And she was worried about it. But yes, she did get pregnant on purpose. Yes, she did. She thought that if she was pregnant, and guys, it's not just her being pregnant, because it's the whole thing about it. Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, this is a high-risk pregnancy. I'm going to need extra medical care. Yes, this was a whole plan to delay her going to prison. That she would get treatment that other people who are found guilty of a crime and sentenced to 11 years in prison don't get. You guys are seeing the two very separate and distinct justice systems in the United States. And guys, I don't care how much they try to deny it. We see it. Do not let them lie to your face. Do not let them tell you that what you see going on is a lie. Because that's a whole part of what's going on in American politics right now. They're telling us, oh, don't believe what your eyes see. Don't believe what your ears hear. Just believe what we tell you. Just do what we tell you to do. Don't look for answers. Stick to the talking points we give you. This is why we are in the mess that we are in, guys. This is exactly why. Because there are two justice systems. And here we are, coming to the sundown of the opportunity to hold all these people accountable for the crimes against the United States that they committed. And our justice system, they went after the little guy. They went after the poor guy. Poor guys are going to jail. Poor guys are on probation. But not one of the organizers of January 6th, not one of the crooked, criminal Congress people, senators, not one of them have been held accountable. Not one of 45's admin, including 45, has been held accountable. Here we are. It is November, the last 2 days of November of the year 2022. We've screwed off a whole election. We had the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And we allowed the criminal element of the GQP to literally get away with attempted murder. And that's what it is. And we have to call a spade, guys. We can't keep sitting here saying, and I want to have trust in Merrick Garland. I want to have faith in our justice system, but God doggone it, I got to believe what my eyes are seeing. I got to believe what my ears are hearing. And what my eyes are seeing and what my ears are hearing is that nothing is being done. These GQPers are being allowed to commit crimes in open, broad daylight all over the country. Georgia, Arizona. Now, when 45 had the White House, a protest had the National Guard set on it. And we have done nothing to secure our nation. We have done nothing. Nothing to secure our nation. We have done nothing to make sure that we are not the victim of an invasion, of a cyber attack. We are sitting here like ducks. We are being destroyed from the inside. We are being destroyed from the inside. 45 still has classified documents in his possession. He is throwing the middle finger at Merrick Garland. Every day he's throwing the middle finger at the United States justice system. And we just sit here and hem and haw and allow this criminal to broaden his criminal enterprise. All right? And I know I got off on this wasn't even about Donnie. This was about Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah, she got pregnant on purpose. I'm sorry, guys. But some things you got to rant about. So, my next question is from Donna Fuller. And Donna would like to know, what did Donnie give the Saudis for his multi-billion-dollar bailout? What did Donnie give the Saudis for his multi-billion-dollar bailout? All right. What did Donnie give the Saudis for his multi-billion-dollar bailout? Oh, my goodness. Okay, glad that happened. I had cards in the wrong way. Okay, here we go. Whew, no shuffle. What did Donnie give the Saudis? Oh, Donnie gave them cover. Donnie gave the Saudis protection. the very first thing he gave them was protection. Look at here, guys. Donnie gave them an out for the crimes that they committed. They will never be prosecuted, persecuted. Remember, these are the same people who were responsible for 9/11. Donnie's doing backdoor deal. Got smooth up into bed with them. Got smooth into bed with them. Yes, Donnie himself, he was the gift. The whole 4 years he was in there, he gave MBS and his daddy everything they asked for. Everything they asked for. And guys, a lot of it was information on other countries. MBS knows who our contacts, our spies were. He knew who they were. He knew where they were. He knew when they were watching him and when they were watching others. Donnie gave him everything. Everything. Movements of high valued targets. He gave them data on people, on other countries' missile defense systems, nuclear capability, where troops were. What Donnie knew, MBS and his daddy knew. That's what Donnie gave him. Donnie gave him everything he wanted. That little dance around that glowing orb, that was a whole contract sealed. That was sealed by the devil. And this is gonna be bad for the United States, guys. This is going to be bad for the United States. The first card is the Tower, because this is where we are now. This is Donnie put us. Why? The reason that we are in the mess that we are in right now is 100% because of dumbass Donald. All right. My next question is from Danielle. Danielle says, human fertility is diminishing. Should we be concerned about that? Right now, well, I think it was last week, it might have been Monday, but it was last week. The world's population crossed 8 billion. 8 billion people on this planet. The world is overpopulated. It's not underpopulated. We do not have a shortage of people. This whole thing about there not being enough babies being born, this is a whole eugenics argument. And if you don't understand what eugenics is, it's just racism. Okay? It's about white people having enough babies so that they will never be the minority. Okay? So all of this stuff about people not having enough babies, this is all a part of the eugenics. There are too many people on this planet. We have so many people on this planet that we have people that don't have a place to live. People who don't have enough food to eat. There's not enough clean water for the 8 billion people we already have on this planet. And every day, natural disasters and man-made disasters are displacing hundreds. Every single day, hundreds of people are being displaced, on top of the already hundreds of thousands of people who are already displaced. And this is not just in the United States. This is around the world. Every flood, every volcano, every earthquake that causes damage, somebody loses a house, somebody loses a life, someone loses their entire livelihood. Right now, China is a powder keg, a powder keg about to blow. And I can't say that that's a bad thing, because somebody has got to stand up to tyranny. And we Americans obviously have to have somebody to show us how to do stuff. So I'm hoping that this is the time for the Chinese citizens to rise up against their own tyranny. That's my hope for them. Remember, they have the biggest population on the planet. So much so that they are regulated as to how many children they can have. In China, you can only have one child, with an exception sometimes, or if you get lucky and have twins or triplets. But yeah, there's a one-child rule. Why? Because there's so many people. So many people that have to be fed, that have to be housed, that have to be clothed, that have to be schooled. Okay? There is not a shortage of people on this planet. This whole argument about people not reproducing, this is eugenics. This is racism. This is the white elite saying that there are not enough white babies being born to sustain the majority. And that's what this is all about. There's no shortage of people. There's no shortage at all. So, Danielle, no, you should not be concerned about this. What you see going on with the United States Supreme Court outlawing fair, safe and sane abortions is forced pregnancy. But it's not for everybody. They're going to force everybody to have babies because they have to force the white women to have babies. So they have to force all women to have babies so that they can force white women to have babies. So this is all about control, guys. This is about controlling your thoughts, controlling your bodies, controlling your livelihood. Okay? So Danielle, no, there's no reason to be concerned. There's no reason to be concerned. The earth has so many people that we have too many. Okay? The only people who are saying that we don't have enough people are the people who don't think we have enough people that look like them. And that's what it's all about. All right. Next question is also Danielle's. Will Kanye open his eyes since 45 called him a troubled black man? We need to call Kanye what he is, an oligarch. He's another oligarch behaving badly. The media wants us to feel sorry for him. Oh, we need to have compassion for old Kanye. He can go and say anything he wants to about any group of people, and we are to never hold him accountable. No. And then he runs over there with his friends and he goes to his surrogate daddy's house, and then his surrogate daddy ups and talks about him and basically calls him his special needs child. But not even his special needs child. Just a special needs child. Okay? I'm telling you, the GOP will eat itself. It is eating itself. But we need to call these people what they are. Kanye is as ordinary as a gold potato chip. Okay? He is an oligarch. Does not live in the same world that we live in. Just because he's a black man does not mean that he's not an oligarch. Other black oligarchs, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Puff Daddy, all oligarchs. And we need to call them what they are. And we need to make sure that we understand who the oligarchy is and how much of our society they are manipulating and trying to control. Okay? So before anybody starts, oh, poor Kanye. Oh no, Kanye is far, far, far from poor. Okay? He does not even breathe the same air that we breathe. So all this fake outcry about him and everything, he has the money to get the help that he needs for himself. He refuses to. Nobody holds him accountable. When he was publicly, verbally abusing his wife, emotionally abusing her and her new boyfriend, her new ex-boyfriend, making her life a living hell. Everybody gave excuses to Kanye. A man who could have killed his wife out of his ridiculous mental illness that nobody makes him take responsibility or accountability for. Why? Because he's rich. Let him say what he wants to say. Let him do what he wants to do. He's an oligarch. He's not one of us. Understand that. Understand who these people are and stop giving them your sympathy. These are the people who are trying to take your liberty away from you. And 45, the only thing that he told Kanye is, don't run against me for president. Please, Kanye, don't run against me for president. Make your base vote for me. I'm your daddy. Ooh, that dog. Woo! She is something else, y'all. I'm sorry about that. All right. So, will Kanye open his eyes since 45 called him a troubled black man? No, it is all part of the skit. Kanye ain't gonna get mad at his daddy. He ain't gonna get mad at Cheeto Jesus. He is not gonna get mad at him. 45 could call Kanye the N-word straight to his face. Get on Fox News, call him an N-word, out his name. And Kanye would still be there licking his boots. He told the whole world that's his daddy. He wasn't lying. That's his sugar daddy. So he's basing himself off of that. So just know, birds of a feather flock together. And Kanye don't belong to our flock. Okay? Just put it there. He don't belong to our flock. So no, Danielle, he ain't going to open his eyes because he doesn't see anything wrong. He doesn't see anything wrong with anything that he's saying. He is trying to sway the consciousness. He is a black man with power who is being charged with turning other black people's head away from what serves them to what serves the oligarchy. That's why we have this whole exodus of idiocy going on. All these black men promising their fealty to the GOP, who wants them back in chains, who wants them washing their car and filling it up, not standing next to them, not eating next to them, not breathing the same air as them. No, the only thing that they see black people for is service. Servitude, period. I don't care who they are. That's what they see us as. And when you get one that's an oligarch, guess what he sees us as too? But now we're his asset. Now we work for him and we're supposed to follow him because he looks like us. Don't fall for it, guys. And oh my God, I feel sorry for all of y'all who have young men and women who have fallen for it. Who have turned away from being a decent human being because 45 is mean and nasty. So they want to be like him and be mean and nasty. You look at the GOP. You tell me where there's nurturing and love anywhere. They have not treated any child with respect. If you're different, you're dirt. So where do black people fit in the GOP? You can't get much different than this. I mean, that's the fly on the plate. The black people in the GOP is like flies on rice. You can't miss them. And they're a target for people to try to eliminate. All right, I'm going to stop raging about that. I'm going to talk about China again, guys. Beijing is protesting. Guys, they are out. I've never seen this happen before. And they are protesting against Xi Jinping. This country is up in arms. It started with Foxconn, the Apple company. Those people stood up against the police. And now the whole city of Beijing, or country of Beijing, I don't know if it's a city or town, township, whatever. Beijing is now standing up. But Beijing and Hong Kong have always been progressive. But still, people are laying down their fear. And this is what I am telling all of us that we have to understand. Because it's going to come down to it. In all of these countries, we are just going to hear about it, maybe see a little bit of it from China, when a whole nation decides to stand up and turn against its government. China's been locked down since 2020. It's some form of lockdown since 2020. People have not been able to travel. People have not been able to move. Some people have lost their entire families in one house and never got to come outside. People's doors get nailed shut. See, in America, we can't fathom that. We don't understand that degree of tyranny. But that is exactly what the GOP is trying to bring to our shores. Guys, we have got to pray that the Chinese people stand up and topple the Chinese government. And then maybe when it's our turn to fight, we can garner some of their strength and resolve to stand up for ourselves and take our country back. Okay? Because there's going to come a time that we're going to have to fight for what we believe in, or fight to hold on to the liberties that we have, or to keep what we have. It's coming. This is worldwide. Again, eyes wide open, guys. Everything is changing for a reason. The earth is moving. The night seeming so long. The weeks going so fast. We are in a system of change, guys. And we've got to either move with the planet or get shook off like fleas off a dog. Prepare. Again, I'm going to keep saying, you got to stand for something. You got to fight for something. And this is our time. It's up to us. We are the rescuers. We are the saviors that we've been waiting for. We got to do this. We have got to stop the cycle of chaos. We've got to stop repeating. We got to stop doing the same thing, expecting different outcomes. That's insanity. Here we are. So, guys, what we're seeing is we're seeing the beginning of a revolution. I asked everybody on Friday to start keeping a journal. Write down what's going on. Write down these little tidbits of history so that you can look back or pass them down so that history won't be changed, so that you will have a record of what's gone on since 2020. Even if you just write down what's happened since then, so you can write down what you experienced during these times, so that the history can't be changed down the road, because that's what happens. That's why we think things are one way when they're actually another, is because through our lackadaisicalness and our not paying attention to what people are doing, we allow people to change and erase history. And that's exactly what's going on right now all over the world, but especially right here in the United States. We have a whole party that does not want critical race theory. Is all about erasing the historical facts of what occurred and replacing them with something that does not make the oppressor look like the monster they are. That is why they do not want to teach critical race theory, because they do not want people to have to read about the atrocities that their ancestors committed to other people's ancestors. And guys, this is not homogenous. Our world history has been changed, covered up, erased to fit the narrative of those who are in power. Don't believe it? Google mud flood. Don't believe it? Ask yourself a few questions like, how did whole underground cities, like in Seattle, by chance, get built? And then covered up, and then discovered again. But there's no articulated history from that era about it. Only the made up things that the people of this era have written to change the history to the person who is telling the story. That's how Egypt became part of Europe. Okay? That's the whole biggest lie right there. How Egypt, which is fully in Africa, somehow people believe that Europeans were in Egypt and that blonde-haired white people were the pharaohs of Egypt. And that Egypt isn't even a part of Africa, according to these people. This is how history has been changed. This is also how the Dunning-Kruger syndrome gets compounded. This is why truth is so important. Because if we tell the truth and we pass the truth on as oral history, then people can remember the facts. But if we allow people to lie and call alternative facts, then our history is destroyed because it's a whole bunch of gobbledygook. And nobody knows where the truth begins and the lie ends. And that's what they have done to this country, to this world. They have merged truth and lies into a toxic soup so that no one knows the totality of anything. Okay? My next question is from Ann Hardink. When will the war in Ukraine end? And this is troubling, guys, because, even old Vlad went in thinking that it was going to be a sortie. It was going to be a hit it and quit it. He was going to go in, bomb Kiev, and walk away with Ukraine as his prize. Here we are almost a year later. And now Vlad's killing children. Vlad's killing the babies. Vlad's killing the pregnant women. And the rest of the world still sits and watches as an entire country is decimated. Sit watching grandmothers and little children fight a war against a nation that invaded them in the 21st century, and the whole rest of the world does nothing to stop it. We're repeating a deadly cycle. This happened in the 1940s, guys. Exactly what we're going through now happened in the 40s. We're repeating this cycle yet again. We have got to break up. We have got to stand up and break this cycle. And the only way that we can break this cycle is to stop the lies and the liars. To stop them lying about the whole state of the world so that they can manipulate us into killing each other. Because that's what it's coming to. While the ultra rich will be sitting in their mansions watching while we down here will be fighting for scraps of bread. Pay attention. When will the war in Ukraine end? Spirit guides, universe, please. When will the war in Ukraine end? We've got a victory and we've got loss. So the first card we get is loss. But this is the whole war itself. Every day that this war goes on is just a lesson in loss. Russia's not winning. Ukraine's not winning. Nobody's winning. People are dying. People are dying. People are dying. Doesn't matter about the buildings that are being destroyed. That doesn't matter. People are being murdered. The government is doing nothing to stop this. We get the Three of Cups in the past. This is a celebration. But this is in the past. Ukraine was a happy place. They were prosperous, happy, very democratic, very free. And Vlad squashed that. Below the unconscious is the Ace of Pentacles. The big reason that Vlad did this. Control, money. He wanted to possess, to own, to reclaim that land as his so that he could charge the people that live there, make them pay him taxes, enrich Russia, increase the land size, increase the army size. It was a land grab gone horribly wrong that the rest of the world is still doing nothing to rectify. And guys, we have to at some point say, where is our responsibility in this if we are allowing innocent people to die? Every nation that's an ally with NATO, nobody's helping. Nobody's helping the people. And then we see the racism again. When people do get help, we see who gets helped first. And we see who gets left behind. We see who the border patrol will line up. They will let the white citizens through, but will stand on the border and not allow black and brown people to cross into their country just to get back to their own country of origin. They will, and told them, stay and fight. You dark person, pick up a gun, fight the Russians for the Ukrainians. Fight for our country that won't pick up a dime and give you nothing. But fight for our country. Die for our country, who would not spit on you if you were on fire. Pick up arms. Fight for us. But don't try to cross the border. Nah, because you're going to run right back into that same racism again. Fight and die. And have no name, no rights, no nothing, no country, no nothing. Fight and die for somebody else's cause. And nobody will spit on you if you're on fire. Wouldn't pee on you if you were dying of thirst. All right? I know this is a rant, but I'm angry about this, and I think every one of us needs to be. All right, I'm going to get off of that. When will the war in Ukraine end? The war in the Ukraine is not going to end. I don't feel it's not going to end until somebody stands up to Vlad. Until somebody forces him to stand down. Because every day, if he can gain an inch, it doesn't matter if 100 troops die a day, 100 Russian troops die a day. Vlad's going to send them to die if it means that he can take an inch of land or claim it as his. This is not, until somebody stops Vlad or Vlad dies, this war is going to continue. And would also like to know about Brittany Griner. Okay. We know that Brittany is not getting out. That she is a political pawn, guys. And they have now sent her to a gulag. This is another thing. I have been asking everybody to please send her love, energy, because she is giving up. And now she has gone to a place to where she has no rights. And she is invisible. Nobody can see what's going on. Nobody can see how she's being treated. And she is not being treated well. She is not mentally healthy. She is not. She is in despair. She is a political prisoner, and she will not be freed, unfortunately, until after the war in Ukraine is over, because she is a political pawn. As long as Vlad is breathing, she will remain a political prisoner. There's no more wheeling and dealing that can be done to get her out. Because now Vlad and MBS and all of them have declared war, literally, against us. They're not gonna do anything diplomatic with us because of the sanctions, because we put sanctions on him because he invaded another country. He's holding an American as a political hostage. And we really can't do a whole lot about that until he is no longer in power. So, and I'm sorry, but Brittany Griner is she's a hostage. She is a hostage. She is a political hostage. And she's not doing well. And if you love her, send her energy. If you think about her, send her energy, because she needs everything she can just to make it day to day to day. She's losing weight like crazy. She hurts. Okay? All right. I hate to do that, but that's how it is. Last question. Yeah, last question is from Capricorn Queen 7425. And this is a future question. Here she's jumping into the 2024 election. She would like to know, will the Dems have the House and Senate again in 2024? And I need everybody to remember, we had the House and Senate and the presidency. And we got some stuff done, but we did not do what we could have done. And I need for everybody to remember, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema must be taken out of our Senate. They must be voted out, period. If they do not stand with us, they stand against us. Therefore, they are enemies. They are enemies to our party, and they are enemies to getting anything done that is worthwhile. If we allow them to stay in our ranks, then we have laid down and admitted defeat. We have got to do everything in our power to get bad people out of our party. Okay? So, Capricorn Queen's question. Will the Dems have the House and the Senate? Will we win the House and the Senate again? Will we get it back in 2024? And these cards don't want to shuffle. Okay, come on. will we get the House and the Senate again in 2024? Okay. It's like a brick. It won't even let me push anything in. And we got a yes. We got 2 yeses. Things are going to change in 2 years. The government is going to look a little different. 3 yeses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 yeses. Okay. All right. Here's my yeses, guys. So at Capricorn Queen, 2024. Tarot is saying, as the energy is right now, the Democrats will win the Senate and the House back in 2024. And here's all my yeses, guys. I have 4 yeses that the Dems are going to win in 2024, at least in Congress and in the Senate. All right, guys. I know this was kind of short. Well, not too bad. I need questions for Wednesday's early bird show, guys. Lots of stuff going on. If you're curious about it, please just drop it in the comment section below, and I will ask. All right? There's no bad questions. You know, there might be some that I won't ask just because I don't understand, or I may have, talked about it too much. But there are no bad questions, guys. Ask them, and I will try my best to get around to all of them to answer them. All right? I have availability for later on this week. I've got some openings on Saturday and Thursday. And then also for the next 2 weeks out, I'm wide open. So if you would like a reading from me, only $25. Guys, and sachets as well. They make excellent gifts. This is the time of year where a lot of people, unfortunately, people who are shopping and doing stuff and keeping stuff in their cars, get stolen from. I can put anti-theft stuff in your sachets that will lessen the likelihood of you getting robbed, okay? Or being targeted. So, psychictanya9@gmail.com for all interactions, okay? Just email me and tell me what you want. I will respond. I love you. I love you. I love you. Namaste, guys. Have a wonderful Monday. Bye-bye.